This is a very bad forklift.
Now that's a lot of damage!
This mock-up is pretty close to what I want it to be. On the ground and crazy.
Hey, it's Tom's Refurb here. I missed you. I've been sitting on my forklift for days just thinking about when we'd meet again, and here we are. I am so happy.
Alright, today we're going to be working on the F-Scalade again, and we're going to make so much progress, you're literally not going to be able to comprehend it. Like, we're going to get so much done today, you're going to shit your pants. So let's get to work! As you can see, the F-Scalade is still held up with my forklift, and the forklift is held up with a long piece of wood. It's been that way for an entire week, so hopefully the forklift will start and we can take this thing back apart and fit it all in the shop and continue working on it, because I want to make some changes. For one, I don't like these wheels. They're too big. The 22 does not fit the truck very well, so I'm going to change the wheels. Then we're going to do all sorts of slicing and dicing on this F100 body to get it as low to the ground as humanly possible. I want this thing scraping, and if it's not scraping, I'm going to freak out. And you don't want to see me freak out. So, that leads us to challenge 1. Will the forklift run? This is a very bad forklift. I paid $1,700 for it. Will it start? Has stopped running. We'll fire right back up. What a good running machine. The second course of action is to get this cab onto the lift so we can go up and down as needed to fit it up on the frame. That's going to be a bit of a challenge, but thankfully we have these fancy schmancy Harbor Freight casters and a forklift. I shouldn't have to remind you, do not attempt anything I do ever at all, ever. Trying to figure out the best way to lift this up consistently. As you can see, I have expertly tied this together. We're not going to be able to close the hood, but that's fine for now, because right now, we're just trying to set ride height. So, does it lift up steadily? Let me take a spacer out the back. Trial and error. Whoa, look at that. I trust that with my life. After getting it perfectly level and on the lift, I just realized we meant to put it in the other way. Because look, as it is now, we can't even fit the frame in here. Wow! Good thinking, me! So now we just have to drop it back down, spin it around, reset it, go back up. Just about as straight as before. Now that we got the cap on the lift, let's take this bed off and get the frame in there. It's still not going to fit under the truck. Look, we have like 3 inches that's not going to fit. But this is actually a perfect time to take care of the wheels. Because as you can see, these 22s, like I said, are a little too tall. So I went ahead and took the stock Escalade 18s, put some short tires on them that are generally the same diameter of what I believe will be on it when it's done. So we'll slap them on. It'll lower the frame enough to go under the truck, and then we can start fabricating. These are the wheels I'm going to be putting on. They are the stock Escalade wheels, and man, they're fugly, but don't worry, they're not staying. These are just gonna be there for mock-up. We can weld and grind around them. It's not gonna hurt anything. They're cheap used tires. But when I put 20s on this, I will be going for roughly the same diameter and width. Yeah, see, it's a lot more reasonable, I think. Adios. I like the way they look, but they're just too big. I really don't like the way these look, but they're the perfect size. Yay! Whoa, that's awesome. Perfect. And will it clear? Actually, I think it will. Hold on, dude. Wait, I'm not done. Pimp the old girl. Oh, you gonna trip, cameraman? You gonna trip?
You're gonna trip on the clock while working?
Wow, those look sweet. Ooh, that's a showpiece right there. Now we can start working. Now, we're good. Now, we can start making progress now that it's got some pimp ass wheels on it. Wow, that is... Really? Come on. Really? About to take that sensor off, man. Awesome, that's so cool. Good thinking, mate. I meant to do that. Pause for a word from today's sponsor. Check it out. Are you kidding me? Okay! Stop! It's working! I'm just gonna take the sensor out. I think that's the easiest possible solution to this. Watch now, I bet it will go in with no problems. Come on! You gotta be kidding me! First drop with the lift. Issue number 1 we are running into is that it is getting stuck on the back of the intake and this little lip on the firewall. It's also rubbing the front frame, but I kind of think if we could just trim that little portion out there, we can set it down further. So I'm gonna lift it up and do that. Upon further inspection, it looks like I'm gonna have to cut a notch out of this entire piece here, not just a little lip. This entire piece is gonna be hitting the back of the intake. So I'm gonna lift it up even more and cut a big old chunk out of this firewall slash cowl panel. Sometimes I miss the smell of old burning undercoating. It's probably like full of lead and stuff, but it smells like hot rodding, baby. Almost, but also not quite. Now, there's a small possibility we'll have to cut the entire sort of center of the firewall out to clear the motor, but for now, we'll just see how it fits up with this. All right, now the intake clears the firewall, which is kind of surprising. I don't have to cut the whole firewall out yet. We are now sitting in the back. That's fine, that's what sawzalls are for, baby. Because we are getting this thing low. Check out the front though. That ride height's getting somewhere. It's not where I want it, but it's getting somewhere. As you can see here, my last minute slice from last video is very uneven. That is why it's off kilter. So I'm gonna try to go off this top body line and just extend it out to here. Perfectly measured. Pretty soon we're gonna be running into, actually that's about already a problem. I want this thing down here, you know what I'm saying? I want it down on the ground, baby. I'm actually gonna start with just trimming this side symmetrical to that side to see if the body sits nice. And if we want it lower, I'll bring it back up and cut basically the entire rear portion out of this. We'll go easy way first. That's pretty close for right now. Looks terrible, but might work. The vision is for this to be like sitting on the ground, but this is pretty low. I don't know. I'm currently at a bit of a crossroads. As you can see, it's sitting pretty low. Like this is a decent ride height for a long bed F100. It looks pretty badass. And also, if you look inside the cab, the amount of fab work we'd have to do to create a floor is not that bad. So my issue is, I do want this thing about, I don't know, 4 inches lower, but in order to do that, I would have to cut all of the structure out of the back of the cab, most of the firewall structure out, and then refab all of it. I kind of want to do it still, but also, at the same time, at its current height, I can close the hood on the motor without a problem. If I go any lower, I'm gonna have to make a cow hood or something, which again, I don't mind doing, but I just don't know, you know? It's tough. It's tough to decide how radical I want this thing. Right now, it's at a cool height, nice and low, but I do want it kind of, you know, on the ground. So the question is, do I accept this ride height, or do I keep slicing and slice a lot more out? It honestly wouldn't be that hard to start building the floor for it as it is right now. I'm gonna close the hood and just keep gandering at it, see if it sways my opinion at all. I mean, the height's not bad. The wheels look really stupid. They look real stupid. I don't know if I like it. 50% of me says, F it. Let's lift it back up, hack it all up, and drop it on the ground. But then the actual slightly more intelligent side of me says, well, this is a pretty good ride height. We could build a floor fairly easily. No. All right, I think I've made my decision. Sitting in here, looking at all this, trying to make a mental plan. The main reason I wanted to keep it at this height was, if you look at this level is the same as the frame, and it wouldn't be that hard to fabricate a floor off of it because it would be on the level. I could kind of weld to this. But I've been looking at this, and as you can see, it's all pretty crusty. This side may be usable, but that side, not so much. I can't weld to that, so I'd probably have to cut that off anyways. And also back here, same boat, was gonna weld off of it, but it's not really all that solid either. So if I have to cut all this stuff out, I may as well cut all of it out, along with sectioning the back of the cab and the firewall to drop this thing like 3 inches lower, just because I could. It's gonna take a lot of fab work anyways. Why don't we party? A wise man once said, if you're gonna walk on ice, you might as well dance, so back up we go. This thing is roughly 8 inches off the ground right now, and I wanna go down another 3. So in order to do that, I'm gonna have to cut that entire back structure out that we just saw inside, along with this rear end of the cab, along with those inner rocker things that are rusted out anyways, along with the firewall, and also I gotta trim the front frame rails. Did you get all that? I'm gonna start with the easiest thing, and that is this little firewall radius. I'm gonna bring it up 3 inches just because that's what I want to drop everything else by. It should be enough. Where is my master fabrication tool? AKA the Sawzall. This was not adding that much structure anyways. Whatever. That did exactly what I expected it to. Nice! Are you ready? That looks like some space to lower. That should clear the frame now. Down we go. Oh yeah, that clearancing was perfect. Now how low will she go? It's pretty low. That's lower. Damn, that's just about where I want it. Check that fitment out now. That looks a lot more like a little drawing I made. Now, we're sitting on the motor. It'll go down lower. We can drop it down even more if I take the hood off. Yeah, let me take that hood off real quick. Yes, me, it looks pretty badass. This is the lazy man's way of marking your hood bolts. It also replaces your hood hinges with brand new shiny ones at the same time. All right, now there is a bolt missing. Here, cameraman. Let me do you a quick favor. Why don't we set these goofballs over here? Set on the lift for a second. I'm starting to get Masu Tengu flashbacks out here, and I love it. As you can see, we need to do a bit of minor trimming right here. Man, why are you getting stuff all of a sudden? Man, what now? Oh, it appears my sectioning of the cowl was not drastic enough. We are now hitting the injectors. This bad girl is low. I like that. This truck got some weird chemicals in it. That's gonna need a bit of cleaning up. All right, corners are nice and pretty-fied. That looks super custom and badass. Now, let's go down again. Ha! Yeah, baby, that is what I am talking about. Right there is a proper ride height. That's what you call a body prop, baby. I can just barely fit my fist under it. Perfect. It's perfect. Temporary body mount. One more. This is all very scientific. Slide these back just to hold that right there. And down we're gonna come. Oh my goodness. The core support is currently sitting on the frame, which is fine for now. We're gonna have to make proper body mounts for all of this. But just for peeking around and mocking up and having a good time, this is fine. I'll let it rock just like this. I just want to look at it with the door shut, honestly. I'm glad I made the decision to absolutely slam it on the ground, because that looks crazy. It looks like it's bagged all the time. And it also looks as if it's never ever gonna turn, ever. But that's a problem for later, don't worry. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to raise it up just a touch so that we have suspension travel. In fact, maybe I'll stack something in there. And here we have spacers to raise the front end up just a touch. That's damn near perfect. Yeah! Oh yeah! That's badass. I'm taking them back out. The front end has to come up just 1 more inch. I'll take them. I will add 1 more to each. And now I will wrap them in duct tape because they're very slippery and sketchy. Also, I feel like a large part of this project has just been me cutting things. And it literally has from the very start. It has just been me cutting and stripping things. And this episode is just like that. But hey man, you gotta do the cut work before you do the fab work. Come on. Another body mount. Complete. Body mount installer.
Right here.
Get ready, dude.
Here.
Maybe this body mount design is quite bad, actually. In hindsight, it appears the body mount design is needing much improvement. Alright, you might be right. Do the same thing to the other one. That's perfect. Okay. Thanks, body mount installer tool. Still got a little bit of a break. We're probably gonna have to raise the front end up a touch more, but I'm happy. Now, I'm gonna play with the bed a little bit. I'm thinking all I'm gonna have to do is cut this pretty high, and then I'm gonna have to cut the wheel tubs out, and I would like to keep the rear cross section because that's like holding all of this together. So I might lop off a bit of the rear frame just to clear that. We'll see. We'll play it by ear. Dude, you're slow. You're going so slow. Okay. We are backwards. U-turn. U-turn! Ah! We're gonna set it on just to see what it needs first. Perfect install! I don't know, that actually fits pretty good. I don't think we need to do anything, actually. Now that I got my eyes on it, for now, just for this mock-up, I'm pretty sure I just gotta lop off these wheel tubs because they are in the way. We can keep this because we can slide it under the frame. We'll end up likely cutting the back of the frame off eventually. And then up here, I'm gonna trim this clean because I think it needs to be up just a little bit higher. Or actually, where it is naturally rusted might be perfect. Before I cut the wheel tubs out, I'm gonna try my luck at this giant ass dent. I am not improving it. I'd say that's good enough for right now. That looks awesome. Oh! I mean, that's pretty close. Everybody, feast your eyes on this, a much better mock-up. Last week's mock-up, too high up, big ass wheels. This mock-up is pretty close to what I want it to be. On the ground and crazy. Look, it's a little hard to see around a lift, but that's a badass motherfucker right there. How to body swap a truck. Tom's refurb style. Now, you can say the truck is done. It is complete. It is ready to drive. Okay, I know that it feels like this is taking forever, but good things take time. Badass things take more time, and badass things built by idiots with minimal experience and attention deficit disorder take even more time. So you just hang tight right there and keep watching the best damn automotive content on YouTube, because I am gonna keep on posting that shit. I love you so much. Subscribe to my Patreon, buy some merch, check out Speedy's equipment because the mufflers are almost out of stock. I'll see you very soon, and I love you again. Bye.